I think cycling really lends itself to conversations, and there's nothing else out there for me that does it.
There's a vulnerability on the bike, and with that vulnerability kind of leads to openness. So yeah, I agree. I think it's a beautiful sport for opening up and having conversations.
Nick Friendo is a cyclist and mental health advocate. I've never really thought too much about the future. I've always been chasing things, happiness, success, how you define those things, I don't know, but I never really got either of those. And it wasn't until probably the last couple of years that I guess I've done a better job of defining what those two things mean to me. 2014, 15, 16, I was trying to set my business up. The relationship with my partner at the time broke up, and I'd gone from thinking that was everything I wanted to how I managed to ruin all of that. And I very much looked at myself. I took responsibility for everything, friendship, relationship, everything I just put a torch to. And that led me to just thinking I was useless and lost and no use to anyone at all. And that spiraled into my first attempt. I rode down a descent, very technical one on the wrong side of the road, hoping a car would come. And I was riding as hard as I could. Fortunately, there wasn't any traffic. I was in such a crisis that I didn't know where to turn, where to look, who to talk to. Even a year after my second attempt, I hadn't talked to anyone. So no one close to me knew what had happened, what was going on with me. I kept everything to myself. Like a lot of men, I think I saw it as weakness, and I didn't want people to think I was weak or struggling. You then realise it's not weakness at all. Everyone struggles, and overcoming it or talking about it makes you feel, or it made me feel stronger. I found the new normal through Ben's Instagram profile, just the cool tattooed barber, London cyclist type thing. I just approached Ben and said, look, would you be interested in just having a chat?
I run the charity with my friend Jack. Myself and Jack believe that, very simply, if there's one, there's two. Mental health, grief, well-being can all feel really isolating. You assume that you're the only person who's going through it, but actually when you come in a room together with a group of people, you realise that you're not the only person experiencing that.
Hearing about other people's experiences and what they've been through and how they deal with it and how they cope really hit home with me, and I've been able to take a couple of those things that people have said, introduce them into my life, and things are pretty good at the moment.
We really do stand by the ethos of talking, having conversations, being open with people. That as a starting point for anyone in any walk of life, no matter what you're doing or where you are, being honest and speaking with the people around you makes your circumstances and situations so much better for everyone.
Just as you said, you learn from each other, so you can think about things in another way that you may not have thought of before. We all go through it, and some people are just scared to talk about it.
If I start to struggle or if things spiral out of control, the first thing I do is, start talking to people, sign up for a meeting and start listening. I'm so glad I found it.
It's been 4 years realising that there wasn't something quite right with me and realising that I had a problem. And something as simple as, just talking to people works. And the environment that the new normal have created, it's a safe space where you don't feel judged. I think a lot of people feel like, unless they get to the stage of being in a crisis, may not feel like their issues are valid, they're not big enough. I don't think you have to be in a crisis to attend a group. The sooner you reach out, the better it'll be. If you're anxious, worried, that first step of getting help, it's a massive, massive leap, but you'll never look back. And whether it's talking to a friend or joining a meeting, what have you got to lose?